And we have returned. Overdrive League Platinum Division, and what a game we had last time. Illumination Empire get revenge on Brainstorm and end their undefeated streak. Now they're looking to do it again with another team that's taken one of their wins away, BDSM.
Yeah, tonight they're playing the only two teams that have ever won against them. And they've already taken revenge on Brainstorm, so going into this match, they definitely have a pretty high morale. I can feel it.
I can feel it. Yeah, I definitely feel it right now. That was hype. I mean, we saw a backpack on the back line. Feed to win.
Exactly. And Sale running around with the talent. This game, he's not gonna get the talent anymore.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they were watching that last game and they're like, we ain't letting that go through.
Yeah.
That was their first mistake.
Probably not a very good choice to give the one trick his one trick.
Yeah, smart indeed. Meanwhile, Zyra gonna be banned out from Illumination so far. Nothing too off the beaten path.
Backpack and Bronze Gatekeeper be like, we're not going up against Zyra again. And BDSM was definitely watching the last game. They don't want any of that Mundo.
Yeah. Mundo and Talon, those were the hot topics for that last game for Illumination. But, you know, Illumination are the top dogs right now for a reason. It would take a lot more than just two bans to count this team out. So we're going to see how they respond to that. Let's see if this is just a...
First pick.
That's arrogance, confidence.
So, Examon is like, if Rabbit and Turtle can't do it, I can do it. I'm playing the Fizz against Sale again. This time he's not getting talent, so I'm gonna win.
I mean, okay. Okay, before you go too much off on that, Fizz is one of his most played of the season so far. So it's not like he's just playing it for the sake of like, I'm gonna meme him. I'm gonna show Rabbit and Turtle how to play this champ. Nah, he's playing it because it's one of his champs. He does well with it. We're gonna see how well he can do. But Wukong picked up. That's a face I haven't seen in quite a while. We're I don't know. This is about to go bananas in a second.
Yeah. So, Sale did play a little bit of Wukong mid. So, Wukong mid is a counter to Fizz. One of the counters. He's a really good pick into Fizz. You can just use your clone to dodge a lot of Fizz's stuff, like his ulti, his single target damage, and yeah, we guess we just have to wait to see whether the Wukong's going top or mid or jungle, but just keep in mind it's an option, Wukong mid.
So yeah, this final pick gonna go out to Graves, and it's no one's surprise at the moment. I mean, Graves, we were talking about it earlier, it's still one of the best jungle picks you can take early on. It does well regardless of the situation. You really just gotta feed your booty off for it to be unsuccessful. But now we are getting into the second part of this draft phase.
Yeah.
With the bans.
And Baby on the Graves was like pretty good last game too. he got You Are Being Muted, his first blood, and You Are Being Muted was just like snowballing from there all the way till the end.
Yeah, he was just pumped off after that. But he's not on the Mundo this time, so let's see how that works out now. I'm still curious if they're actually going to go through with the mid Wukong, as Zillion is banned out. Again, they're pretty much just going off the picks and bans that we saw of the last draft, which was Backpack on Zillion, it was You're Being Muted on Mundo, it was Sail on Talon, and they're gonna have a completely different draft other than the Ezreal so far, and the Graves.
Yeah, BDSM just doesn't want the Zillion, especially when you have a Fizz on your team. You really don't want the Zillion to just revive whoever you try to kill with your ultimate.
Watch him take KO now. It wouldn't be too far-fetched. It'd be a little bit ridiculous to take a champ just for the ultimate,
but it's possible.
That's basically what happened last game.
I recommend skipping.
And they're taking away the KO. They're taking away anti-assassins. They have their priorities set.
Only the kill is left now.
Oh, I'm scared for this one. See, Nami, she's coming back up. She's still good. Thing is, against this composition, all it takes is really one skill to land, and you got yourself sushi right there. All you can eat buffet.
If someone in the Fizz can just like really easily jump over her bubble, and then there's nothing you can do after that. Dodge the bubble, jump on the Nami, and then she's sushi.
Yeah, and Tristana being picked up. I feel like we're watching BDSM do their impression of Brainstorm at this point.
Brainstorm's Tristana last week wasn't impressive, so hopefully this is not a Brainstorm impression of the Tristana.
Yeah, I mean, you know the way crit ADCs are, grit through my teeth. You pretty much okay. To be fair, Tristana did some very questionable decisions in the build. If you're gonna, for the love of God, if you're gonna go a crit ADC, you pretty much have to build Stormrazers first. There's like no other way about it. It takes too long to scale to a point where you can do actual damage that really works out for the team environment, for the long con, for that sustained damage per second DPS. I have to emphasize that, damage per second. If you don't go the Stormrazor, then you lose out on a lot of that. Stormrazor, well, it's not the best item to have in a full build, it's definitely the best item to start to get you going, to actually have that damage to really assist a fight.
Yeah, definitely a must-build first item on champions like Tristana, Caitlyn, Jinx.
Yeah, right. I think it was like, well, it was last week we saw a Jinx that went like Stormrazor third item. I just want to emphasize, you never do that.
It's kind of pointless at that point, but first item, it's a really good first item.
Yeah, it front loads your damage. You get that crit to really start off the fight. You can even use it for harassment. But having attack speed and AD, it is a good starting item to get right out the gate for an ADC. And God forbid you go Infinity Edge or Static Shiv first.
If you still go IE first after the changes, I don't even know what to say.
I mean, there's ways to work around it. I've seen a build where someone goes Zeal first, then they get Infinity Edge, and then they get like other crit items to try and make it work, but it's still kind of iffy thing. It still really depends on you doing well for that to actually be successful.
Yeah, because it's just not really worth, especially since it's a crit chance multiplier now, so like when you have a low crit chance, it's just not worth.
But on the other end of the spectrum, there's an Ezreal. Ezreal doesn't care about those items. He doesn't care about crit, Infinity Edge. What's that? Anything that's blue, give me those tears, give me that sheen. All good.
Yep. And the board. Good old board. But we are seeing a Warwick top. from You're Being Muted. I don't think we've seen this before. This man has been a monster. Like, he was a monster on Jax, and he was a monster on Mundo, as seen from the last game. I wonder if it. Yeah, I wonder if it's like one of those AP Warwick tops, because I've seen some of those in solo queue.
I mean, it's almost guaranteed he starts off with Doran's Ring. It lets you sustain your mana, and by sustaining your mana, you sustain your health in the process.
Yeah.
Every Warwick that ever lanes is always going to grab a Doran's Ring first, unless a special case.
Mm-hmm.
But against a Maokai, I'm not 100% sure how that matchup really works out. It's not something I've seen enough. I'd imagine it does favor Warwick early on, but I could see the pressure going in favor of BDSM, just because Udyr is much more flexible when he goes for those ganks, and that bear stand stun followed with the lockup that can come from Maokai could mean the end for You're Being Muted if he's not careful.
Mm-hmm. Since a Warwick doesn't really have a way to get out of it, especially before level 6. After level 6, he does have an ult that makes him unstoppable, but if you're using your ult defensively every time, it means you're not making plays with your ult offensively.
Yeah, you said unstoppable. I mean, you can silence it, you can stun him, you can knock him out of it.
That's true.
I mean, careful with the words.
I mean, like the animation, if the Udyr and Maokai are trying to go on him, he can at least complete the animation and get out of it if he uses it defensively.
Okay, so to the delight of anyone watching the stream, our champion selecting is right this time. We're Gucci. We're good. We're Gouda. We're Feta. Feta, Gouda.
Cheese.
All that cheese. But yeah, we are getting to load screen now, so spectacle delay almost up, and we are taking a look at the keystones. Nothing too out of the ordinary.
Well, speaking of cheese, I don't know if you consider the Wukong mid cheese, but I see more and more people playing that nowadays, and it is a counter to Fizz.
I feel like if you see something that's not meta, you instinctively call it cheese at this point.
Except this meta is basically no meta.
This is interesting. I'm Single has opted to go to the Fleet Footwork, which is an alright choice, but ever since the changes that happened to it and the reduced healing you get nowadays, it's almost always been the better option to go with Press the Attack, especially because if you're taking crit ADC, you're going for the long con damage, you're not really going for the burst and sustain.
Yeah. For Graves, it definitely still is the best keystone, because
oh yeah, if you're
Graves
jumping, hell yeah.
Yep. And you can't really proc PTA either, but Tristana you can proc Press the Attack pretty easily once you have a couple attack speed items.
Yeah, and look at this, already a fight between Aralite and You're Being Muted going off. But yeah, for Graves it works out just fine, because he does want the little burst of movement speed, and the healing is pretty nice as well. But for I'm Single, the way I see it is he's looking to have some form of sustain in lane, and he's trying to get it out of a keystone, which kind of worries me.
Mm-hmm.
It means he's expecting to get hurt a lot.
Well, Nami's early game is definitely pretty strong. Her W in the early game is more used for poke than sustain. It's a lot of point and click damage, considered everyone has like 500 health in the early game.
Nothing to point out is Press the Attack picked up by Admiral Avery, and it's overall a pretty great keystone. Usually you don't see Udyrs as much anymore because they've really fallen out with the way the items have changed as Trick 2G and how pissed off he is. But Press the Attack definitely works if you're going for that Tiger Stance build. You can really stack on that damage with the autos and really the burn that comes out of Tiger Stance. Look at Sail just going so aggressive. Examon looking to return the favor. It's going back and forth, but first blood and a follow-up from a flash from Baby. Overall going in favor, though, of BDSM.
Ooh. Sail got the level 2 straight up engaged on Examon, but it was Examon who got the extra 100 gold for first blood, so...
Yeah, but it equalizes a little bit because first blood is not everything. People kind of forget about assists. If there's no assist on a kill, you're not getting as much as it seems like. An assist, even though it's not much, it does bring back some of that gold in this case.
Yeah, and some extra gold going over to Baby too.
Ooh, yeah, this is what we're talking about, that lockup that can happen onto Warwick. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, I'm single. Looks like he's going to be caught out here. Doesn't really have much to fight it off as he forces the flash out of Bronze Gatekeeper and baits him into the 1v1. Yeah, Bronze Gatekeeper, we're going to call that greed. Straight out. Because after he flashed, you walk away. You do not need to commit to that sort of thing. That was just arrogance. That was greed. That was, to put it simply, stupidity. And a lot of damage coming in the mid lane.
Yeah, since I'm single was basically dead bear with Baby collapsing, but Bronze Gatekeeper greeted for the kill, and maybe he forgot that I'm single has heal while he himself has TP, so there is the heal advantage to the side of I'm single.
Ooh, Sail. Forced to burn flash. He's getting absolutely outlaned so far. This counter you were talking about isn't working too hot for him.
Yeah, it's also... He's also have 3 CS this game, so... He seems to not be laning very well against this Fizz right here.
Oh, and the greed for the CS just sets up his demise once again, and it's not looking good for this mid laner. Now, Sail not going to put on the same type of performance he put on last time.
So the reason Wukong can counter Fizz is because of the use of his clone when Fizz has his ult, but that's not a counter if you lose pre-level 6.
Yeah, and look at the absolute massacre that's coming out so far. BDSM seem to have this game in check very early on as the rotations coming out of Admiral Avery. It's just beautiful so far. Look at this, trying to bait out the dive. You're Being Muted is still going to go for it, gets the kill, but gives up his life for it.
But with that kill, a wave does crash into Arlight's turret, and that is some CS lead to You're Being Muted, so not bad. And the mid lane Sail is suffering though. This wave is pushing into Examon's turret really slowly, and Sail can't even walk up to it.
Yeah, he's forced to just try and take it as experience only. He can't really get the gold. And you know, once Chum the Waters comes out, Sail has to be very, very careful.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there we go with the early dragon again. And the engage onto Sail forces him to have to try and dodge that from the waters. He is able to get away from it. But look at that level difference. He's still level 4 to Examon's level 6.
Yeah.
Nice.
Examon missed his Chum the Waters, but it doesn't matter. It's probably gonna go back up before Sail even hits level 6.
And Baby able to sneak out to Dragon. No problem with that one.
This time successfully, unlike last time.
Well, last time they just called their lanes up, but beginning called up, Admiral Avery is here to try and stop You're Being Muted. You're Being Muted, gets stunned up, takes a lot of damage. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Sail gonna have Ignite, gonna drop him quite easily. It's not looking too good for You're Being Muted, but he's trying to turn it around. Needs to get that Q if he wants to survive, but Light shuts him down before he could go after his jungler.
You're Being Muted is a monster. Like, we've always seen him just like 1v1 anyone, create a lot of split push pressure, but Admiral Avery is basically making this lane a 1v2.
Yeah,
He's
Admiral
been doing a
Avery's
lot. Yeah.
lane from lane from lane.
hmm He's actually doing a lot all over the map, not just in the top lane, but they understand that they have to shut down You're Being Muted early, so he doesn't become this split pushing monster we've seen on his Jackson window.
Here comes Baby on the bot side. He's not really going to find too much with it. He does have the Tidecrawler's Blessing, but if he can't get in range for the auto, then it's pretty much useless.
hmm Well, one thing running for Baby is he is up 1 level and 20 CS on Admiral Avery, so if he can't really make an impact on the lanes, maybe he can just keep farming, keep out farming Admiral Avery, look for counter jungle opportunities, because Graves does scale pretty well.
Well, I mean, he's done the same amount of ganks in terms of actual kills. Actually, hold that up, because an ultimate going off in the mid lane. Admiral Avery takes the collateral damage to the back of the head, and there we go. Baby shows up just in the nick of time.
Yeah, BDSM getting a little too greedy in the mid lane there.
They thought they could kill him before the Cyclone went off. He was able to just get it in time when the Bear Slap came in and keeps him alive. Two-Shot Barrage going to go out, as well as the Tidal Wave wants to line it onto Homie. Homie takes a lot of damage, able to dodge the bubble just in time. Does not get what he needs to find, but the flash forward coming out of Bronze Gatekeeper gets it. Examon dies meanwhile, and then Bronze Gatekeeper looking to clean this one up and get Illumination back in the driver's seat as a double kill is picked up by Bronze Gatekeeper. Now Sale wants to run away from the man Bear Big. It's not gonna work as Sale drops to Admiral Avery.
But Sale did manage to pick up a really important shutdown gold on Examon there.
Important indeed, because it's just a struggle for him at this point. Over double in CS is Examon in comparison to his lane opponent Sale.
Yeah, he's been only able to get 19 CS in 10 minutes. He's been suffering in this lane. He needed that shutdown gold. He needed Examon to die there.
Aerolite might choose to go in on this, which would be suicide, because comes Baby showing that presence, persuading not to engage on this.
And despite Examon's suffering in the mid lane, in the jungle, yeah.
Admiral's gonna go for this gank. The fear comes off though, and he gets rooted once again. This looks terrible. That was unlucky to say the least.
That was a really nice dodge by You're Being Muted in the beginning, and like the fear to fear Admiral Avery away, but there's just way too much lockdown.
And there we go, bubble is gonna go out. No follow-up damage follows, but it does stop a little bit damage, a little bit of harassment onto that tower. Yeah, so that's what we're talking about. While You're Being Muted can be scary and all, and probably win the lane, there's no way he can stop that amount of CC constantly being applied to him every time Admiral Avery comes up.
Yeah. So last game, I was wondering if Illumination had Brainstorm Gaming figured out, since they drafted a really good draft against what Brainstorm Gaming does every game. And right now I feel like BDSM has Illumination figured out. They know that they rely really heavily on their top lane, on You're Being Muted, winning lane, and then growing into the split push monster. So they just draft really heavy point and click CC lockdown to shut down You're Being Muted early.
They get a ward in the jungle And Cyclone's gonna go off, gets a lot of damage on the Examon, but Examon whiffs the Chum the Waters. It's gonna keep him alive for now. Backup is here in the form of You're Being Muted, who's able to dodge that Pyro Pillar. And overall, wasn't too bad of an exchange for Sale, who's been so far behind this game.
Yeah, You're Being Muted just showed up at the right time. He hasn't been like winning lane as hard as he wanted to, but he just showed up mid lane at the right time and saved his mid laner.
Backpack caught out, unable to get over the wall in time. There's 5 members on top of him.
Yeah, Backpack wasn't really in the right place at the right time here.
But now, yeah, this is a dragon you can see. There's no way you go for this one. There's all 5 members there. The best thing you can do to punish it is get back to your lanes faster than them, get a CS lead, and push it into the tower.
Mm-hmm.
Good smite, my baby. Having the wherewithal to know.
Almost stole it.
Still.
Yeah.
Would have been the dream. Now it's just a meme.
Almost. Close enough. Good try, homie.
One thing here is, it's actually been quite a bit since I'm Single has taken his recall. So much damage coming out of ex-homie. But that next recall, that should be the Storm Razor right then and there. And out goes Chum the Water, is gonna land onto Sale, gets the Ignite onto Sale. A lot of damage going onto Sale, but Examon gets the kill, finds what he wanted, but so does Baby. Now the 1v1. Admiral Avery versus Baby. Baby's taking it to him. You're Being Muted is now here and chomps away at Admiral Avery.
Once again, Baby is here to save the day.
Yeah, Baby's doing a good job of being where he needs to be at the time he needs to be there. And one of the things we were talking about, use the clone to dodge the Chum the Waters. Sale just ate it. He didn't have the reaction time. And
Yeah,
that's a slow-moving skill shot.
Mm-hmm. He had the clone right there, but he didn't use it until he already ate the fish. So he could have survived if he didn't. He dodged the ult there, but he failed to dodge it. Good thing is, Baby and You're Being Muted were able to get there and made it a 2-for-1.
And there we go again, a little bit of fight breaking out between Ara Light and You're Being Muted. Ara Light getting the better of this. Admiral Avery around the corner, he's got to be very careful. You're Being Muted gets snared up. It's looking really, really bad now. He has to use the Infinite Arrest to get away, but he's yet to pop it. He could use it and lock him up under the tower, but why doesn't he go for it?
Oh. He never went for it. He didn't use it to escape and didn't use it to try to get a counter kill under tower, but this will be his tower going down.
Yeah, if he got the Infinite Arrest on the Admiral Avery, that would have been a dead Udyr. There's no doubt in my mind. Like, he might have died in the process, but that's a lockup you need. That has a chance of keeping you alive, and if it does it, you get a kill for it and stop that push.
Yep, but he seemed to have just given up his life right there, accepted his death, and the death of his tower as well.
Yeah, perhaps a little bit of fear coming out of You're Being Muted. He's starting to get demoralized with the way this game's going.
He's been demoralized by the camp he's been getting. It was a lot of attention going to him at the top lane.
And it seems it's paying off on the Psyche. Now Bronze Gatekeeper playing it forward. There is backup. Arlight is on this bot side now. So you have 5-man concentration coming out. You have to be very aware of that. It's a flash over the wall from Backpack, almost getting caught out by Arlight once again. But this sparks the Rift Herald to come out from You're Being Muted.
Yeah, really smart moves by You're Being Muted. His team spotted a 5-man on the bot side, so You're Being Muted is just free to take the Herald by himself.
Arlight right here is going bot lane because he thinks You're Being Muted is around here. That's why they're going straight for this dive. That's why they don't even know the Rift Herald is happening, and the flash is coming out tidal wave. It's going to come out to nullify that ultimate from Arlight, and they're going to set their sights onto this bot lane tower. Rift Herald does go down, but they lose a tower in the process, setting this to 2-1 in towers. But now he's going to summon that Rift Herald to the top side. This might be enough to take down the tower. Huge chunk. Rift Herald doing some work. You know he wants to dedicate to this, but meanwhile in the bot lane, Baby gets caught out, stunned up, and that's going to be the end of Goomba Stomp, landing onto Baby. And now Bronze Gatekeeper still playing it forward, misses the Mystic Shot, gets the auto attack. You're Being Muted, battling out in the top side. I'm Single, able to take down Bronze Gatekeeper. Now Backpack all by his lonesome, slapped by the bear. And that's going to be the end for him. Meanwhile, there we still see it in the top side. You're Being Muted versus Arlight with no backup. This heavily favors You're Being Muted, but he's unable to get the fear. Now Arlight wants to turn this one around. Still going in is You're Being Muted. He needs one more auto to finish it, but a great outplay using that arcade shift, not the arcade shift, excuse me, the twisted advance to make that one work so beautifully for him.
Whew. This is why I always hate going up against a Maokai. He's been healing so much in that duel.
Yeah, and what should have been the final auto got completely outplayed. Arlight is he's just happy to play this champ.
And yeah, while that duel was going on in the top lane, it was just a misstep from Baby and Bronze Gatekeeper in the bot lane. They knew they were at a numbers disadvantage. They knew right now BDSM is stronger than Illumination as a team, but they overstepped and just got bear slapped right there.
And now contention for this Infernal Drake. It's getting low. Choosing to go in, Chum the Waters lands onto Baby. A lot of damage onto Baby. He gets a lot off himself though before finally dropping 1-for-1 exchange so far. Admiral Avery sets his sights onto this dragon. Out goes the Cyclone, grabs 2 so far. Looking to make it 3. A great showing from Sail to pop up at the right time as they set their sights to Arlight. A lot of damage onto Arlight. The bubble's not going to land, but they're going to find everything else right after. That's a shutdown onto Arlight. And that's 4 for 1. The dragon going over to BDSM.
The Wukong, who's been slapped whole game, finally showed up, and he showed up huge there.
Yeah, he finally makes his way in. And it was a great display, but you also have to question, without Examon, what do they really have going for them? You still need time before I'm Single ramps up to that point where he does become that late game fantasy monster of an ADC that you need him to be. But gotta hold that thought. Chum the Waters is gonna go out Playful Trickster, looking to find Sail. A lot of damage onto Examon. They take him down. They get the bubble onto X-Homie. But here's Arlight and the rest of the crew waiting to avenge their dead brethren. But that is going to bring an end to that engagement, and that shows you overconfidence can absolutely kill.
Yeah, so you were just saying Examon is all they have going for them right now. He's really fed, but that also makes him overconfident, or like or maybe he just felt the pressure to do something. But do something doesn't really mean going 1v4 into 4 people before his team arrives, so that was some overconfidence and misstep right there.
Okay, I gotta say, I'm a little thrown off by Sail's build. Maybe he knows better than me. Maybe he's just going to the outright assassin type thing, but the Black Cleaver. Yet to see it being picked up yet. I understand the Hex Drinker, but it looks like he's going just for nothing but lethality items at the moment.
Yeah, seems like he's just building to play against, like, just to burst down Examon, I'm Single, or Homie, because this build is not gonna do a whole lot of damage to Admiral Avery or Arlight.
The big thing is it's not a team build; it's an assassination build. He's going, and I don't know. I feel like I'd prefer the Black Cleaver in this composition, but I could see it working out just because he needs to take out key targets.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's interesting. I'm pretty sure he's going for actually caught out by a bubble and caught out by the infinite arrest. Everything that follows up is massive, and the Cyclone going to go out a lot of damage onto Sail, brings the end of him. Out goes from the waters. You're being muted. Has to run away from this one because here comes I'm Single with the Goomba Stomp. Picks up the double kill, stomping forward once again. Has nothing left to fight, but that's a 2-for-1 exchange in favor of BDSM as they set up priority and a siege onto this tower.
Yeah, so Sail's assassination build, when he failed to assassinate I'm Single, that marked his death right there. It's like, do or die. Either you get the assassination on the Tristana, or you're just gonna get killed, and he got killed.
They're still going forward with it. Examon a little bit too far forward. A lot of damage going off onto this BDSM crew. And the slows from the Tidecaller's Blessing, a flash forward coming out from Bronze Gatekeeper. Unable to find the kill. A horrible use of flash in that case. It was ambitious to say the least, but now we got to see what they do with this priority on the map now that they got so many recalls out. And they're just going to ARAM.
Just gonna push the mid lane.
Because at this point, when you got so many recalls, this is vision. You walk around the map and you start establishing it because you know there's no pressure there to stop you. Instead, they're just kind of like, well, you know, we're gonna ARAM still. ARAM's our favorite game mode.
Gotta establish the Baron vision, establish the Dragon vision. Dragon's up in less than 2 minutes.
And that dragon, by the way, is another Ocean Drake. Here we go. This is very, very suicidal move to make here. Out goes the Pyroclasm. A lot of damage onto You're being muted, but he returns that damage. Looking to try and take down Homie. Flashes towards him. He's not going to be able to find it. Meanwhile, Baby fell as well. And with the Baron right there and no jungler to stop it, that might be the call.
You're really questionable positioning from You're being muted and Baby. They were trying to push Vision, I believe, but with just the two of them, they walked into 4, and that just doesn't work.
No, really, they were just like not expecting what they got. Out goes the True Shot Barrage, unable to get the steal though. Now they're gonna go in for this fight, but here goes Sail as he takes down I'm Single, and a great assassination. That build finally coming to fruition.
This is what he's building for. It's assassinate the Tristana or die, and he got it. He basically one-shot I'm Single. This is who they want to take out too, because with the Baron buff on a Tristana, like, BDSM can just push infinitely, but right now they are forced into a defensive position.
But not for long, as out goes that Chum. The water still, he's looking to turn it around. He wants to fight Examon, and that's who they get. He does drop in the process, though. Pyroclasm gets a lot of damage on the Bronze Gatekeeper, who's trying to run away. Infinite Arrest stops Admiral Avery. Here comes Baby as they find the double kill. They're gonna look after Homie, and Homie all by himself drops at the hands of Baby. And what a turnaround for Illumination as they push forward. They want to find more. I'm Single is still a very viable threat though, as he harasses You're being muted away from the fight. And with the Baron minions there, they can't keep pressing forward.
Holy moly. That's 4 Baron buffs gone from BDSM before they even managed to push anything.
Yeah, and another thing, that's the dragon. That dragon that was spawning, this gives them all the time they need. Not literally, you know, they're not going to spend 30 minutes there, but all the time they need to take this down. They don't feel any pressure going after this dragon. It's subjective, and it's a pretty good one. Ocean Drake, at this point, when you got double Ocean Drake, if you're going to a sustained battle, this is a great Drake to have.
Indeed. And I just gotta compliment Sail for that suicidal engage. Like, it just looked suicidal, but they managed to turn that around, because even though he just ate Chum the Waters in the face, but then he managed to get Examon before he died. So that was a really good trade for them right there.
Someone needs to tell Sail that the clone can eat Chum the Waters. I feel like he's completely unaware of that because he's been chummed so many times now.
Mhm.
My good chum.
Always makes me wonder if only he used the clone to dodge it, he would have died, and then it just would have made the situation even better.
Here we go with the A round, but it's going to benefit BDSM as they do go for the split push. Admiral Avery being on that top lane. You have to respect that. A Nudier can tear up a tower in no time, especially one that has a split push build being the Trinity Force and the Tiamat.
Yeah, the Udyr split pushing is always really annoying to deal with.
Yeah, because the moment you catch him, he's like, tag, you're it, run away.
Mhm.
Yeah, this Baron push is starting to work out. Singles getting to the point where he's getting incredibly strong. He's completed his first 3 items. Out goes Shum. The water's going to land onto Backpack and absolutely delete it from the game. Cyclone's going to go out, but it's not going to find the back line. That's 2 down so far. Infinite Arrest onto Unsingle, but he jumps away. Still, the follow-up coming from You Are Being Muted. Admiral Avery, all by his lonesome, gets dropped by Bronze Gatekeeper. You Are Being Muted, still alive as he runs away from Admiral Avery. I think You Are Being Muted could turn this around if it wasn't for that level differential, because it's so much in favor of Admiral Avery at this point. As You're Being Muted tries to run away, but everything is not working out for him. Admiral Avery is gonna win this duel, and it's so much in favor of BDSM.
Oof. This is the problem with the bill of sale. It's an opportunity, and at the same time it's a problem, because with your full lethality build, you either get the assassination or you don't. And Arlight just has the perfect lockdown to peel the Wukong from his carries. So basically all he could do was jump on Arlight, and Arlight just took no damage from him at all.
Yeah, at this point you either die a hero or you die a very lonesome, pathetic death. This is what feast or famine.
Yep,
and every single engagement.
And he did die a hero death like 2 times, but
yeah,
just now he just died a very pathetic, lonesome death.
Yeah, but it does appear to be itemizing armor now. He's got a ruby crystal and that cloth armor. Not sure what he's looking to build it into, though. Maybe something like Randuin's, a Dead Man's Plate. Most likely something to counter out this late game fantasy Tristana that's been allowed to get to the 30-minute point and has quite a lot of items going for her. Yeah, we talked about Examon being the threat. Look at him single. He's 10-4-2. That lead he had early didn't mean too much because he wasn't at his core 3 items yet. Now that he's gotten there, Storm Razor's a seal item and Infinity Edge, he's loving life. He's now the big threat this team has.
Whew. Right now, the action has been calming down a little bit. Backpack just clearing some vision in jungle. Baron's up in 35 seconds, so the whole BDSM team is just hovering around that area.
Ooh, they're setting up the trap bush.
Will anyone fall for it? Will Backpack fall for it?
Backpack's kind of edging forward. He's kind of suspicious, though. They're leading with You're Being Muted. Out goes Chum the Waters, lands on the Bronze Gatekeeper. Bronze Gatekeeper gets Chum the Waters onto Backpack all by himself, and down goes Backpack. Down goes Sail, and down goes any chance of control of this map that Illumination had as the Infinite Arrest misses. Down will go You're Being Muted as well. Almost takes down Admiral Avery. Can't find the kill. There's only 2 ADCs left, and that will be Baron.
Damn, I didn't even see how Sail went down there.
His HP hit 0.
I guess he just died another lonesome death.
Yeah, that build is all or nothing. And he's getting a lot of nothing. Out goes Chum the Waters. Once again, that very low cooldown working wonders for him, baby. Wants to outplay this, but it's not gonna happen. The ball's not in his court. He drops to I'm Single. This sets up another siege. Still, though, the Baron is being done right now. It's being soloed by Admiral Avery. And at this point, if you're Illumination, you have no clue because the pressure BDSM still putting on is immense.
Yeah, they have no vision at all around their area. And I'm Single, just doing the Baron over the wall.
No problem.
I'm Single is just so ahead right now. 13, 4, and 2. For the rest of this game, it's gonna be like, can you are being muted and Sale get onto I'm Single? If they can't, then they're not gonna win a single fight from here.
Yeah. No, Sale's build, we keep talking about it, all or nothing, and it's been a lot of nothing so far. And it does appear he's going after that Dead Man's Plate. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't even think that's the right choice. I feel like with the build you've drafted at this point, I'm Single's gonna destroy you if you have one armor item. You just need to keep the damage coming and see where it takes you, because that build is too suicidal to expect to live that long.
Just keep building AD and hope you can one-shot I'm Single instead of hoping you can survive against him.
Yeah, do the desperation play where you clone in, flash while in stealth, and just try and assassinate someone. And oh, that damage. I'm Single thinking about jumping over that wall and assassinating Backpack, and you can't blame him. You'd probably get away with it quite easily.
That's Storm Razor damage with IE and Bloodthirster is quite a bit.
The Tristana, one of the worst ADCs right now, unless you get towards that late game, which is, you know, past 30 minutes is not that common in League of Legends anymore. And now that they are, it's turning the hell on.
Yeah, a level 16 Tristana, outranging everyone else in the game at this point, and...
Ooh, Infinite Duress whiffs. Admiral Avery with the tag, you're it. Bear Slap walks away. They're trying to defend this, but this is way too hard to defend. Once again, they catch out Sale. Sale goes in, gets the Cyclone, but he didn't get the dash onto the right target as he falls to homie. Illumination, their base is in shambles, and so are their members as 3 go down with Backpack and Baby remaining. There's nothing they can do to stop this advancement coming out from BDSM as they beat this tower. They beat this Nexus to smithereens. And that's a win for BDSM, taking out the #1 team in the league.
Once again, they say you might take revenge versus Brainstorm Gaming, but not us, not today.
Not today.
Not today.
Yeah, that was a hell of a display to come out of BDSM. You know, they played a lot of what Brainstorm did in that last game, and it just worked. It just worked so well. Examon, so confident on that Fizz. I'm Single was allowed to make it to that late game fantasy Tristana, and from that point on, it was just disaster after disaster for Illumination. They couldn't keep up. They either have a great performance in the mid to early and then win off that, or they allow BDSM to get to the late game and just outright conquer them. And great plays to come out of BDSM. They knew what to do to win this. They played to their win conditions. They camped You Are Being Mid, and they starved them. They starved Sale. They starved You Are Being Mid. They starved everyone from ever being able to make those plays in the mid game they desperately needed.
Yeah, it was a great showing from BDSM. They understood what the win condition was on Illumination. They probably just studied their games. They watched their streamed game just now. They know the win condition is to get your being muted ahead and get Sale ahead, and they just effectively shut down both of them.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely beautiful. And congratulations to them. They take out the number 1 team. They advance to, I believe, 2-1 in the league right now. And it's kind of interesting because it's been Brainstorm who were dominating in the last like 2 to 3 weeks. They get their first loss to the former Kings of the League, Illumination, who are then destroyed by BDSM. It's weird. It's weird how this world works.
Indeed. But yeah, a pretty good showing from BDSM. This team has a lot of potential. And Illumination just has to go rewatch this game, try to think about what went wrong, what went right in their game against Brainstorm, and what went wrong in this game. They're still the number 1 team, and I'm hoping to see a better showing of them next week or the next time we watch them.
Yeah, and that will do it for the stream for this block, at least for us. It's been a great day so far. There's still more action to come. We have, I believe, Illumination versus BMOs, as well as Brainstorm versus, I want to say BMOs again. I'm not sure. Someone could correct me on that. But yeah, BDSM, yeah. But yeah, stay tuned. We're going to have more action, more casters. McBree, I should say, in Primus will be taking over the desk. But for now, I was your caster of Block 1, Desirux, followed by my co-caster, Kirby. Any closing statements, Kirby?
Hope you enjoyed this cast and stay tuned for more.
Yeah, so stay tuned and we'll see you soon.